LumberJacks have had the best offense in the league for most of the year, leading in many statistical categories. That's fouled back. Howard stays alive. Owen Powers on the mound, 17 innings, a 3.18 ERA, 14 strikeouts, 4 walks. So a very productive season for him. And they turn to him in the semis, looking to get to the championship tonight. That's chopped on a hop and thrown on to first for the first out. Oh, no!
Oh!
Ball hit the ground. Schwalbeck could not dig it out on the throw from Trudeau. So the leadoff man is aboard. So it's an error. The first batter of the game. And that brings up Pruitt. Green Dragons, the 8th seed. The winner of this game will play in the championship at the stadium tonight. A 9-inning game. First pitch on Pruitt, a called strike from Powers. Pruitt on the season, hitting .333 with an .841 OPS. .471 on base percentage. Put together an early rally after the error. That pitch is high. So 1-1 now on Pruitt, the right fielder for the Green Dragons today, and he scores to bunt and went around.
Ooh.
1-2, so bunted through it. Howard leads off first. Green Dragons this year 30 for 48 in steals. So they got a 3-2 victory yesterday over the Blue Sox, taking down the 2 seed. Elliot Johnstone went 4 2/3, gave up 1 earned run. He walked 7, but ultimately escaped trouble. 2-2 on Pruitt now. Logan Cook has been so good this year. Saved that game for the Dragons. See if he's available this morning. 2-2, check on Howard back in safely. So the Haymakers and the North Stars are dueling it out on the turf field. That's a 12 versus an 11. It is like March Madness.
Oh, yes.
Here's the 2-2 on Pruitt. Jammed him, but it's foul.
Especially excited for the result of the Haymakers and North Stars game over yonder. 2 amazing runs. Let's see who's going to keep that going.
Dragons as a team this year hitting .290, .403 on base, slugging .360 for a .763 OPS, right about league average. And they've made a run here in this tournament, taking down the Bombers. That pitch is fouled off the mask. Drake Bicknell, that doesn't feel good. Offensive leaders this year for the Dragons. They've had a few. And you look at the OPS leaders. Tommy Howard, who's leading off first base, 1,000 OPS, 556 on base, slugging .444, hitting .407 on the year. Gabriel Montoya, who's batting 5th, has been outstanding, hitting .355, .459 on base. And that's translated to a team on-base percentage of over .400. Good pitch, check swing, call the ball, 3-2. So full count on Pruitt. Still nobody out, top of the first, no score. Dragons LumberJacks in the PSCL semifinals. We'll play 7 today, no time limit. 3-2 on Pruitt. Popped up on the right side and dropped in foul territory by Schwalbach.
Huge break there.
Yep, so an error to start. There was an extra out in foul territory, and the count remains 3-2. These managers managing to win here, trying to win a PSCL title, etch their name on that vaunted trophy. Still full count on Pruitt. Pitch is outside, ball 4. So an early threat for the Dragons. First and second, nobody out for Devin Bonine. And Devin this year hitting .316, .395 on base, slugging .368 for a .764 OPS. That's right on par with the team. Comes up in a big spot here early on in the top of the first, Marshall.
Yes.
So Owen Powers got the ground ball from Howard, but Jacks couldn't make the play. That's hit out toward right on a line and caught by Mejia for out number 1. So there's an important first out and a quick first out. Bonine is set down. That'll bring up Billy Howard. Billy Howard, 13 for 37, .457 on base percentage. And he's driven in 15 runs. That's the team lead by a mile. Has a chance to drive in a big run here in the semis. Give the Dragons an early lead. First pitch, high, 1-0. Well, every run matters, certainly, especially against this Jacks lineup. You know they're going to come right at you. And because the Green Dragons beat the Blue Sox, they picked up Tavin Hathaway, who's going to start for them today. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss in the dirt. That's a huge factor here, Marshall. You beat a team, you pick up some pitchers. We see the Haymakers picked up 2 of the best pitchers in the league in Trevor Eby and Bridger Holmes.
That is a huge boost for them.
So if you beat a good club, you can have some of their pitchers.
This is a rule I thought was kind of bizarre at first, but the more I thought about it, I thought, well, actually, it's a great idea.
Here's the 1-1 on Billy Howard with 1 out in the top of the first. No score. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Fastball buzzed by him. So Power's been very good this year for the Dragons, and we've seen a lot of great pitching performances all summer long in these PSCL games, Marsh.
We have.
One and 2 on Howard. What has turned out to be a laborious first inning for Owen Powers. Montoya's on deck. Here's the 1-2. Hit out toward right, falling fast, and it's a foul ball. Just foul. Would have scored at least 1, probably 2.
I think that would have gone too, the way it was going in the corner,
But it's just foul. Howard went the other way with it, right down the line. Count remains 1-2. These two teams played on June 18th. The Jacks won it 11-2. And they played again on June 27th in the script flip. The Dragons won 10-9. So this is a rubber match. That's popped up into center. Making the call, making the catch is Jacob Little. So that's 2 outs. And it'll be up to Montoya here. to keep the rally going in the top of the first. An error and a walk put 2 on with nobody out. And a fly ball to right and a harmless fly ball to center, and now there's 2 down. So I mentioned Montoya, been very, very good. Gabriel, I'm pretty good on the mound. First pitch is away, 1-0. Gabriel Montoya, 11 for 31, 5 driven in, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, and an 879 OPS on the season. Here's the 1-0. Chopped foul toward the LumberJacks dugout. One and one on Montoya with 2 down. And 2 on here in the top of the first. That's hit off the plate foul. So 1 run, Green Dragons win the last time these 2 teams played. A 10-9 game, and that was spurred by an 8-run 7th inning from the Dragons. Mason Schwalbach had a couple hits in that game. Jacob Mejia had 3, including a double. It's a big day for Billy Howard, Devin Bonine, Tommy Howard. And that's hit hard toward third. Nice backhand, and taking it to the bag for the 3rd out is Harrison Pontoli. Good play at third to end the threat. So the Dragons get 2 aboard. Both are stranded. And they don't put up any runs in the top of the first. The Jacks will come up and hit for the first time. You're listening to the PSCL semifinals. No score. We're in the bottom of the first. The Jacks will come up and hit now with Mejia, Amavisca, and Pontoli. And if they get to them, the best hitter in the PSCL this year, Mason Schwalbach. And they'll face off against Tavin Hathaway, who the Dragons picked up from the Blue Sox. Tavin's eaten a lot of innings this year for the Blue Sox and now gets a chance to start in the playoffs.
Exciting to see what he can bring today.
Tavin from Hawaii. Big right-hander, and he has his work cut out for him today with the Jacks. Mejia squares the bump, pulls back, takes a ball. It's 1-0. This Jacks lineup been hard to beat. And Mejia is right in the center of that. They get on base at a high rate. Hit for some power. And it's a deep lineup. 1-0 is outside, 2-0. They go with 9 today. We've seen throughout the PSCL season, teams going with 10, an extra hitter.
Yeah, no, that has been interesting to see just the normal 9.
The 2-0. Hit toward the middle. And that'll get through. That's a hit. So it's a tough hop at second base for Michelle. Bounce toward the middle. We'll see the official scoring. Either way, Mejia's aboard to lead off the bottom of the first. It will go down as a hit. So it's a leadoff single for Jacob Mejia. That brings up Richie. Richie's playing shortstop today. Seen him bounce around the infield in both leagues for the Power and in the PSCL. Hathaway to Amaviska, that's outside. You do have to attack these Jacks hitters. They'll take their walks, clog up the base paths, and on the season, as a team, they have a .472 on base percentage. 1-0, swing and a miss, foul tip. They're hitting .342 as a team. OPS over 900 at 907. 80 walks, 55 strikeouts. Jacob Mejia's 6 for 7 in steal attempts. We'll see if he takes off from first. 1-1, scored to bunt, called strike on a breaking ball. The only team in the PSCL with more walks than strikeouts, and it's by a healthy margin. They're 34 for 41 in steals, 132 hits. They've done it all this year. That's up and in, 2-2. Two homers, 3 triples, 24 doubles for this Jacks offense. Barring a double play, Mason Schwalbach will get a chance here in the first inning. That's down 3-2. The Blue Sox got the 2 seed, thanks in part to a strong pitching staff. Tavin Hathaway a part of that. 18 innings. Struck out 28. Breaking ball. In there, called strike 3. So Amaviska's down looking, and that's a big first out.
Huge.
With Mejia still at first base, and that brings up Harrison Pontoli. Harrison, another left-handed hitter in this Jacks lineup. I think that's what makes them tough, Marshall. They alternate righty-lefty. Pontoli on the season, hitting .353, getting on base in nearly 48% of his plate appearances, and takes strike 1 from Hathaway. OPS at .918. OPS leaders on this team, Schwalbach, of course, Mejia, Amaviska, Little, Truss, and Pontoli all over 900. That's hit toward first, and a nice backhanded stop. Trying to get to the ball, there'll be no play. So Howard makes the stop, but too tough to recover and get it over. And it'll be first and second now with 1 out for Mason Schwalbach. That's a hit for Pontoli. First and second, 1 out. And here is Schwalbach. And this is not where you wanted to see him with runners on base. 17 for 31 this year. 8 walks. A couple of strikeouts. Hitting .548. Getting on base in 62% of his plate appearances. And slugging .806. He's got 8 doubles. Double here would probably score 2. With speed and Pontoli at first. First pitch from Hathaway, breaking ball down, 1-0. Schwalbach leads the PSCL in OPS. Also leads the league in average. So by and large, the most productive hitter this summer. 1-0, breaking ball high, 2-0. So falls behind Schwalbach, who has 42 plate appearances this year. 17 runs driven in. Leads the league, of course, in RBI. And he's ahead, 2-0. Hathaway comes set, comes home, hit hard. It's a base hit to right. Mejia rounds third. He'll come home. Here's the throw, cut off, and he scores. And on the throw, Pontoli moves up to third. It's another run driven in for Mason Schwalbach. The Jacks take an early 1-0 lead here in the first. They still have runners at the corners with only one out for Jacob Little. So Little comes in hitting .371, .511 on base, one out. Pontoli up at third, Schwalbach at first. 3 hits in the inning for the Jacks. First pitch on Joey Little, down in the dirt, 1-0. So Hathaway falls behind Schwalbach, and that's kind of what he does. Hard hit to right field.
Seen him do that all year, yes.
Hall's going to come out and talk to Tavin Hathaway. Gave up a hit to Mejia to lead off the bottom of the first and struck out Amavisco looking. Back-to-back singles from Pontoli and then an RBI knock from Schwalbach. That is the 100th run driven in on the season by the LumberJacks. And who better than Mason Schwalbach to drive it in? One and 0 on Little. Look good. Call the ball up and away. So 2-0 now with one out. Runners at the corners. Schwalbach 1 for 1 in steal attempts. It's a big lead, doesn't go. That's a fastball in there for a strike, 2-1. I mentioned this Jacks lineup is tough 1 through 9. Drake Bicknell batting 7th today is hitting .345 on the season with an .831 OPS. Here's the 2-1. Popped up, right side. May get out of play. Howard reaches over, and it's over the fence. 2-2. Jacks managed by Sam DiMatteo. And he's seen a lot of runs scored this year. 2-2, there goes Schwalbach. That's fouled off, so Mason will have to head back to first. And 80 walks in 498 plate appearances entering today. Jacks get up over 500 plate appearances on the season this morning. 2-2. Foul tip into the glove. Strike 3.
Got him.
Swinging strikeout for Little. The second strikeout of the inning for Hathaway. And there's 2 down now for Hillman Truss.
Yeah, huge out. That one's sailing backwards on that one.
Work not done yet. Truss has been great. .333, .513 on base, slugging .407 for a .920 OPS, and he's batting 6th today with runners at the corners. He gets an opportunity in the first. The Jacks lead it 1-0 on 3 hits, an RBI single from Mason Schwalbach. And there goes Mason for second. The throw down, not in time, and Pontoli's going to score from third on the throw. So on the throw, Pontoli scores. It's a stolen base for Schwalbach. And the Jacks take a 2-0 lead.
That is some brilliant base running there by Pontoli.
0-1 on Hillman Truss. It's a 2-0 Jacks lead here in the first on Tavin Hathaway and the Green Dragons. 2 down. Schwalbach off second. The 0-1 hit toward right and through the hole for a hit. They're going to hold up Schwalbach at third, and maybe a good decision.
Yeah, I think that would have gotten them.
Would have likely been dead to rights at home. Instead, it's runners at the corners for Drake Bicknell. And when you have a lineup that's so solid 1 through 9, you can afford to hold up a runner there with 2 outs and turn it over to the next guy. And Bicknell, who's hitting .345 and getting on base in nearly half of his plate appearances this year. Bicknell, the catcher for the Jacks. And Drake has a chance to give his team a 3-0 lead with a 2-out hit. Truss leads off first. We'll see if he takes off. That is in there for a strike. So the Green Dragons opting to throw down to try to catch Schwalbach at second, stealing. And I don't know if they'll do that again if Truss decides to take off. That's up and in, 1-1. It is an interesting dynamic. You have someone who hasn't thrown for you all year starting your semifinal game.
It is.
Different look for everybody.
I'm seeing so many curiosities throughout this tournament.
1-1 foul back. Bicknell right on it. Gets it back to the screen. It's 1-2. Bicknell has struck out just 8 times in 37 plate appearances. He's walked 5 times. He's down in the count 1-2. Big run sitting over there at third. The difference between a 2-0 and a 3-0 game. That's outside, gets away, and Schwalbach comes home. He'll score standing up. It's 3-0 Jacks. On the plate, Truss moves up to second. In a very productive first inning for the LumberJacks, taking a 3-0 lead.
Most of it not with their traditional power, but just simply heads-up base running.
Mejia scored, Pontoli scored, now Schwalbach scored on the wild pitch. And there's going to be a mound visit here for Tavin Hathaway. It's a 2-2 count on Bicknell with 2 down in the bottom of the first. 4 hits in the inning and an error. Trying not to let this game get away in the first. There's a meeting at the mound, and still not out of the inning with Hillman Truss at second. No walks, Marshall, 4 hits.
That is just what you'd expect from the power, all good contact.
Jack's getting ahead in the count and taking advantage of some fastballs in the zone from Hathaway. And it's 2-2 still on Drake Bicknell. So a mid-count mound visit. Hathaway comes set from the stretch. Comes home on 2-2, down and away 3-2. Long bottom of the first in the field for the Dragons, and when they head back to the bat rack, it'll be at least a 3-run deficit. 3-2. Hit hard to left. Toward the gap, twirling and making a running catch out there. A nice catch from Devin Bonine. So that finally retires the bottom of the first, but the Jacks score 3 on 4 hits. And we'll head to the second. You're listening to the PSCL semifinals. We're back for the top of the second, and the Dragons down 3-0 early to the Jacks here in the PSCL semifinals. Nash Walker along with Marshall Garvey as Owen Powers goes back to the mound, and his first pitch is down and away on Mejorado, ball 1. So an error and a walk put 2 on for the Dragons to lead off the game, and 2 flyouts and a ground out to third. Got rid of that rally quick, and that's outside 2-0.
Sebastian Mejorado finished the regular season with a .209 batting average. Managed 7 runs batted in, 3 doubles, struck out 13 times.
2-0 on Mejorado, breaking ball in there for a strike. Two and one now from Powers. That's chopped back up to short. Couple of hops for Amavisca. Makes a strong throw for the first out. So 4 down in a row for Powers, and there's 1 out here in the second. It's a luxury to be able to go to Owen Powers here in the semis.
It really is.
Jack's got a bye into the quarterfinals, which helps save some arms. And Powers has not given up more than 2 earned runs in any outing this year. Last time he faced these Dragons, he went 5 innings, gave up just 1 earned, struck out 5 with no walks. That's outside 1-0 on Michelle.
Brendan Michelle. Freshman, finished the season with a .219 average, 2 runs batted in.
Swing and a miss, 1-1. That was probably Powers' best start of the season, considering he went 5 innings. Gave up just the 1 earned run. Through 64 pitches, very efficient. That's fouled off, 1-2. Just 4 walks, 14 strikeouts on the season for the right-hander. ERA coming into today at 3.18. The 1-2 hit toward first. Picked up in a nice underhand toss. Score at 3-1. Schwal back to Powers for the second out. So 5 in a row set down by Powers now after the first 2 reached in the top of the first inning, and that brings up Hall, the catcher. Powers last pitched on July 3rd, 5 days ago on Sunday. And he went 4 against the Bootleggers, gave up 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, season high in walks. His first 4 walks of the year, Marshall.
Wow.
He had not walked any going into that game, and now 2-0 on Hall.
Showing his trademark efficiency so far.
So he'd gotten 13 innings without a walk and then walked 4 in 4 innings against the Bootleggers. That's down 3-0. 1 walk already today, and now down 3-0 on Hall. Season high pitch count 99 in that game, and that's a 4-pitch walk. So 2 walks early on, and Hall's aboard with 2 outs. And that'll bring it to Schiffner in the 9 hole, the shortstop. As we get a courtesy runner, it'll be Killian running for the catcher. See how many subs we get today, straight subs. That's just a courtesy runner. And A.J. Killian. Schiffner with a man aboard now and 2 outs. And that's down and away, 1-0. Fouled, and that hurts right off Drake Bicknell. He's taking a beating early on here.
He really has.
And he's going to get a visit from Sam DiMatteo after that foul tip. That doesn't feel good.
Oof. We'll have a trainer come out.
And he sends him in to check on Bicknell. So Trevor's checking on Drake Bicknell. It looks like he says he's okay. Trevor will head off. Schiffner's back into the box. On the season, Braden Schiffner is 8 for 30 with a .389 on base percentage. He's walked 6 times. Count is even up at 1. With Hall leading off first, 2 outs. Jacks lead at 3-0. That's a swing and a miss on a ball that looked like it hit Bicknell again. And Bicknell frustratingly slammed his mask into the dirt. So he already took a foul tip off the mask, and then he got one low, and now looks like he got chopped again. Life as a catcher, Marshall.
Indeed. When you're a viewer, you don't play, you know. It's easy to lose sight of just how much of a beating the average catcher takes.
1-2 on Schiffner with 2 down. Jacks lead at 3-0 here in the top of the second. Breaking ball popped up on the infield. Who wants it? And call and catch at second for Trudeau for out number 3. So another scoreless inning for Owen Powers. The Jacks lead at 3-0. They'll come up and hit again. You're listening to the PSCL semifinals. We're back for the bottom of the second. The LumberJacks lead it 3-0 here over the Green Dragons in the PSCL semifinals. The winner will play in the championship tonight at 7 o'clock. They'll take on either the North Stars or the Haymakers. It'll be either the 13 seed or the 11 seed. And a quick square to bunt. Pulling it back, Miles. Blake Miles. He's going to lead off the inning. He's 9 for 30, hitting 300 with a 400 on base percentage. Hits that one towards center. It's going to fall in for another hit. 5th hit of the morning for the LumberJacks. And another leadoff knock. Miles is aboard for Trudeau. Miles on the season, 1 for 2 in steal attempts. Colton Trudeau, 8 for 30. 351 on base, slugging 300, OPS at 651. Made that catch to finish off the top of the second. Miles a small lead, breaking ball in there for a strike on Trudeau. So Hathaway coming over from the Blue Sox, gets the start for the Dragons, gives up 4 hits, 3 runs in the first inning. Oh, 1 on Trudeau, another breaking ball in there for a strike. Seems like he's got better command of the breaking ball, Marshall.
Really good command.
And the North Stars are up 4-0 on the Haymakers. So the Haymakers, after upsetting the A's, will need to come from behind today. Here's the 0-2, swing and a miss. Went back to the fastball and buzzed it by Colton Trudeau for out number 1. 3rd strikeout for Hathaway, and that'll flip the lineup over for Jacob Mejia. Mejia singled, came around to score. He's now 16 for 34 on the season. OPS well over 1,000, over 1,200. Miles still leads off first, not a big lead at all. Couple of steps. First pitch on Mejia's hit toward left field, and that's going to bloop in for another hit. Station to station, Miles moves up to second, and Mejia's 2 for 2. So now on the season, Mejia 17 for 35.
What a line.
With 12 singles, 4 doubles, a triple. How about that for a leadoff man? First and second, 1 out now for Richie Amavisco, who struck out looking in the first. Opportunity here for the Jacks to kind of blow this thing wide open. They lead it 3-0. Quick check on the runner, and Miles is back in safely. 6 hits for the Jacks. Mejia, Pontoli, Schwalbach, Truss, Miles, and then Mejia again. That is low, 1-0. All singles. Some blue pits, some hard hit balls in the first. Howard is in at first base up on the grass. The Dragons need a ground ball to turn 2. That's hit hard but foul down the left field side. Out of play, 1-1. Richie, what a year. Entering today, 15 for 34. 578 OPS, slugging 588 OPS at nearly 1,200.
Also a frequent catalyst for the Palm Springs Power. A fan favorite there.
And widely regarded as one of the better defenders here in Palm Springs. Saw him in the outfield a week or 2 ago for the Power, so he's bounced around everywhere. 1-1 count. Hathaway, another check over at second. Hathaway's basically, since the jump, had to work from the stretch. Just one at bat from the windup, and that was to lead off the game on Mejia. Here's the 1-1 on Richie. Chop foul. 1-2. One and two, one out. Runners at first and second. The Jacks lead at 3-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. Here's the 1-2 from Hathaway, up high, 2-2. It's a fastball. See if he goes back to the breaking ball here. He's been able to command that. Really nice sequence on Trudeau. 2 called strikes with the curve and then beat him with a fastball upstairs. 2-2 on Amavisca. And Richie fouls that one back. It was a breaking ball. He stayed on it and stayed alive. Still 2-2. Nobody up in the Dragons bullpen. Looks like Hathaway will have an opportunity to work his way out of the jam. When you get deeper into this tournament, you start getting short on arms to make 7 innings every day. Here's the 2-2. And foul back again. Another good breaking ball spoiled by Amavisca. When you have to get through 7 innings, Marshall, unless you mercy rule a team, and nobody's done that yet.
And that's definitely heightened the drama. Knowing you can't, there's not going to be that time limit to cut you off. Got to play the full 7.
Two, 1 out on Amavisca. Low. Ball 3, count runs full. Good at bat here for Richie. There are no easy outs in this LumberJacks lineup. Richie putting together a good plate appearance here. 3-2, 1 out. Miles at second, Mejia at first. Jacks lead at 3-0 in the bottom of the second. Tavin Hathaway from the stretch. Comes home on 3-2, foul back again. Long battle between Hathaway and the Jack shortstop Richie Amavisca. Ninth pitch of the at-bat on the way. Full count, 1 out. Runners at first and second. Howard in at first on the grass, looking to turn 2. Hathaway comes set, comes home, breaking ball. Called strike 3 for the second time. Amavisca down on strikes looking. And that's a big second out here for Hathaway.
Huge.
Went back to the curveball. Put it in a good spot. Amavisca caught looking, and that'll bring up Pontoli. Runner still at first and second with 2 down now. Jacks up 3-0 on 6 hits here in the bottom of the second. Hathaway steps off. Pontoli singled and scored in the first. First pitch, breaking ball. Back foot. Here's the check throw to second. Safe. Oh, that was a close play.
That was close. I thought they had him from the throw.
Looked pretty good. Decent tag over there from Schiffner. Nice throw down from Hall, but Unable to get Miles just by a half step. Oh, and 1 on Pontoli. 2 down, first and second. Pontoli squares the bunt, gets it down. It's a good one. That's going to be a bunt single. And here comes the run home on the throw.
Oh!
He's out at the plate. Wow. So the throw to Howard. Hathaway thought he might have had a chance on the bunt single. Howard comes home. Hall puts down the tag on Miles, and he is out at the plate for out number 3. Wow.
Huge run prevention. That could be the momentum swing.
So Jacks lead at 3-0 after 2. And the Dragons will come up and try to cut into that lead when we return. Top of the lineup due up here in the top of the 3rd against Owen Powers. The Dragons trail 3-0 to the Jacks here in the semifinals. Winner will play at the stadium tonight at 7. Our last update was that the North Stars were leading the Haymakers 4-0 over at the turf field. Swing and a miss from Howard, who reached on error in the first and was stranded at second. Powers has really settled in. That's up 1-1. He set down 6 of the last 7 he's faced with just a walk in between. And now it second time through against the Dragons. Swing and a miss, 1-2. It's the team he dominated in a start earlier this year. Here's the 1-2. Outside 2-2. 2-2, Powers to Howard. Outside, just missed, 3-2. Came back with a fastball. Powers working quickly. Like to see that. Three-two, swing and a miss, he got him. Went back to the outer half, and Howard's down on strikes. That's the first strikeout of the day for Powers, 1 down. So 7 of the last 8 set down by Powers. Jacks lead it 3-0 on 7 hits. No hits yet for the Dragons. First pitch breaking ball. Misses low. 1-0. Looked pretty good. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball high. 2-0. Two and 0, 1 out. 3-0 lead for the Jacks. Down in the dirt, 3-0. Already 2 walks for Powers. Now down 3-0 on Pruitt, who walked in the first. Innings leaders for these Jacks: Luke Guest at 21, Jacob Peterson 20 and a third, and then Owen Powers now, who has 19 and counting. Called strike, 3-1. Guest pitched against the Bootleggers in that 3-2 win yesterday, and that's ball 4. Taken outside, looked pretty good, but it's the third walk of the day for Powers, and Pruitt's aboard with 1 out. So that'll bring up Bonine. He flew out to right in his first at-bat in the first inning. And that's up and in, ball 1. So Luke Guest pitched yesterday. And that's up. Jacob Peterson also pitched. He threw 3 2/3. He started that game, gave up 1 earned run, struck out 2. So looking for length out of Owen Powers today. Check on the runner, back in safely. It's a 2-0 count on Bonine. Here in the top of the third. 2-0, popped up, foul, 2-1. Two and one on the 3-hole hitter for the Dragons. With 1 out and Pruitt leading off first. Jacks lead at 3-0. That's outside, 3-1. So Powers in danger of walking back-to-back hitters here, bringing the tying run to the plate. It's 3-1. Billy Howard's on deck. Here's the 3-1. Chopped. Fair, now foul. Ball had a lot of spin.
It sure did.
So 3-2 the count on Bonine. Feels like a fairly big pitch here.
It does. Interesting how the Power still hasn't allowed a hit.
It's a 3-0 game. Tying run on deck. Pruitt is leading off first with 1 out. Here's the 3-2. Hit high to left field and deep, but twirling foul. Went a long way down there into the left field corner. But it's just a long strike. Billy Howard on deck. 862 OPS entering today. He flew out to center in his first at bat. And hoping to have a runner in scoring position when he comes up. It's 3-2 on Bonine. So unlike Powers to walk guys, 3 more walks today. Had 4 walks in his last outing, but before that, none. And that is down and away, ball 4. So the 4th walk and back-to-back here in the third brings the tying run to the plate and Billy Howard. And here comes Sam DiMatteo. He's going to chat with his pitcher. Meeting at the mound as the cleanup batter is set to come up with runners at first and second and just 1 out here in the top of the third. Jacks lead at 3-0, but the Dragons, with their second threat of the game, they had one in the first. They had first and second with nobody out. and had 3 straight outs. And now have another opportunity with 1 out. And first and second for Howard. Exact same spot he came up in the first inning. He flew out to center. Looking for a big hit here. Still no hits, just 4 walks for the Green Dragons. After the mound visit, Powers is ready. Comes set from the stretch. Comes home on Howard. That is in there for a strike, 0-1. Got inside on him. And Billy Howard has 2 doubles this year. He's driven in 15 runs. He's the team leader. They need him right here. The 0-1, breaking ball, foul back. Out in front, able to get Wood on it, but now it's 0-2. Oh and 2 with 1 out, runners at first and second. Time called at the plate. So only the top of the third. We'll play 7 today. Here's the 0-2. Fouled off again. Into the Dragons' dugout. Howard got jammed. Got a piece of it, and it's still 0-2. No activity in either bullpen. 0-2 on Howard. First and second, 1 out. And that's chopped toward third. Pontoli picks it up, goes to second for 1, and no throw to first. So it's a fielder's choice. Here's the throw to third, gets away, but Pontoli gets there quickly. It's a fielder's choice out. Howard moves up to first, Pruitt down to third. Bonin is out at second. There's 2 down. And here's Montoya. Montoya grounded out to Pontoli to finish off the first inning and leave 2 on base. Trying to drive in Pruitt 90 feet away at third base. And the Jacks lead at 3-0. Gabriel Montoya. First pitch, in there, strike 1. We've seen Powers batting down the hatches with runners on base here. Gets a ground ball from Billy Howard and now is a couple strikes away from getting out of this jam.
Still no hits allowed, even with all the runners on base.
0-1 is high, 1-1. One, fouled off, 1-2. Powers keeping these Dragons hitters off balance. Going back to that curveball. See if he goes with a fastball upstairs on 1-2. Tries to get a swing and a miss. 1-2, runners at the corners. Jacks lead at 3-0 in the top of the third. Dragons trying to chip in, and that is outside. Montoya thought about swinging, but held back. Good pitch. 2-2. Two, 2 outs, 2 on. And that's fouled off. And foul tipped off of Drake Bicknell again. And He's just taking a beating today. Hitting the head, hitting the thigh, hitting the hand. He looks to the sky and says, please, no more. Amadio's going to come out and check on Bicknell again. See if they call for Trevor over there. And Bicknell says he's okay. He's going to play catch and see how it feels. Foul tip off the hand. It's 2-2. With 2 down, runners at the corners. Jacks up 3-0. Top of the third in the PSCL semis. Powers comes set. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Big strikeout. Powers fired up, his second K of the day. Strains a couple runners, one in scoring position, and it's still 3-0. Jacks lead the Dragons, and they'll come up and hit when we return. You're listening to the PSCL semifinals. Mason Schwalbach, Joey Little, and Colton Truss due up in the home half of the third for the Jacks. They lead 3-0 over the Dragons here in the PSCL semis. Ash Walker, Marshall Garvey bringing you the action here from Palm Springs Stadium. Been a fun tournament so far and a fun season overall. Breaking ball in there for a strike from Tavin Hathaway. Gave up 3 in the first. Stranded a couple and got some help as Miles was thrown out at home in the second. As the Dragons cut down the 4th run. There's the 0-1 on Schwalbach, swing and a miss. 0-2. Schwalbach hard hit single to right in his first at bat. 7 hits on the day for the Jacks. All singles. Hathaway 0-2 inside. 1-2. Mentioned Tavin from Hawaii. It's very nice. He bought some chocolate for the interns before the season started. Brought it to us in there.
Yes, it did.
Pretty cool for him. He gets the pitch here in the playoffs. Moving on from the Blue Sox, gets an opportunity in the semis. Here's the 1-2 on Schwalbach. Hit hard toward the middle and threw for another hit. Almost took off Hathaway's foot. Schwalbach hits everything hard.
He sure does.
And he's aboard with a leadoff single. Even when you get ahead 0-2 on him, he still finds a way. 8 hits for the Jacks, 0 for the Dragons. And here's Joey Little, who struck out swinging in the first. First pitch on Little, in there for strike one, a fastball. Hathaway settling in, finding the zone. But it really hasn't been a command issue. No walks. Just the 8 hits. That's hit hard to left. And on a line, caught by Bonin out there. Near his shoe. But he makes the catch for out number 1. In the gap, Bonin makes the catch, and that brings up Colton Truss. Excuse me, that's Hillman Truss, and Hillman singled to reach second in the first inning. Hit toward third and through the hole for another hit. 9 hits for the Jacks. All singles. Schwalbach moves up to second. And another rally here in the third inning in a row, where the Jacks have put at least one in scoring position. 3 runs on 9 hits. And here's Drake Bicknell. Toughed out a couple foul balls behind the plate that tipped him in basically every area of his body. I'm sure he would love to put a run on the board here, Marshall.
Oh, yes.
Truss at first, Schwalbach at second. 1 down, bottom of the third. Hathaway to Bicknell, up and away, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Down low, 2-0. Cheers over at the turf field. I don't know what happened over there. Here's the 2-0. Hit hard to center. That's going to be hit number 10. Schwalbach's around third, and he blows through the stop sign. He'll score.
Oh!
So Schwalbach comes home to score on the single from Bicknell, and it's 4-0 Jacks on their 10th hit of the game. Bicknell's going to get a courtesy runner, but he comes through with a big RBI hit. Jacks now lead it by 4. And that brings up Miles. Runners still at first and second. Bicknell at first. Truss at second. 4-0 game here in the bottom of the third. 1 out. And no walks, Marshall, for Hathaway, but just getting hit pretty hard.
That's an interesting contrast.
And that's up and away, 1-0.
On the other side, you got Powers with quite a few walks, but no hits allowed.
Blooper to right. That falls in for another hit. And Truss gets held up at third as the ball was juggled in right field. Probably could have scored, and he's saying that to Sam DiMatteo right now. But the bases will be loaded on the 11th hit of the game for the LumberJacks. A single from Miles brings up Colton Trudeau. And they are juiced up. 4 runs on 11 hits for the LumberJacks. And there's going to be a mound visit as some activity down in the Dragons bullpen. Bases are juiced. Trudeau struck out swinging an inning ago. Schwalbach already in to score this inning. The Jacks are up 4-rip. And Powers has not given up a hit, as you said, Marshall.
He has not.
So this could be the game right here in the bottom of the third. And I think sensing that,
Cannot let this LumberJack offense run away with it anymore. Got 2 going in the bullpen. There should be a short leash now for Hathaway.
in steps Trudeau. And trouble waits on deck in Jacob Mejia, who's 2 for 2. Bases are loaded. Howard in at first, trying to turn the double play. Breaking ball, swing and a miss on Trudeau. Four strikeouts for Tavin Hathaway. No walks, 11 hits. Here's the 0-1. High, 1-1.
Lots of activity going down in that bullpen.
Foul tip, 1-2. Game still within reach for the Dragons at 4-0. But feels like with every run, it'll be that much tougher against Owen Powers, who's been outstanding on the other side. Has walked 4 though, but no hits. 1-2 in the dirt. Good stop from Hall. 2-2. Two, 1 out, bases loaded. Jacks lead it 4-0 here in the bottom of the third. Colton Trudeau. And fouls it back behind us. North Star still leading 4-0 on the Haymakers at the turf field. So as it stands, a couple of 4-0 games. Could be the Jacks and the North Stars in the championship. Still a long way to go.
But
that's the way it's trending.
It'll be quite a story for the North Stars to go all the way.
2-2. Foul back again.
It's now, we just got an update. It's
6-0. So 6-0, bottom of the fifth. And it looks like the North Stars are running away with that game over there. What a run for the North Stars. Coming in as the 11 seed, they take down the 4 seed Grizzly, take down the 5 seed Chill, and now on track to play in tonight's championship game. Here's the 2-2 from Hathaway. Popped up on the infield. Howard is over. It's playable in foul territory, and he makes the catch for the second out. So Trudeau is the second out, and that flips the lineup back over for Mejia, who's getting his third at-bat in the third inning. North Stars have scored again. It's 7-0. Jacks lead it here, 4 rip, 11 hits. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Jacob Mejia, who has 2 of those hits. First pitch breaking ball in the dirt, 1-0. Just one combined error for these two teams. Here's the 1-0. Up and in, 2-0. Too low on Mejia, high, 3-0. Richie Amavisca's on deck. He struck out looking twice. And it's 3-0 on Jacob Mejia. Hathaway trying to work back into this count. 3-0 in there, strike one, 3-1. Three one, fouled off to the left side and out of play. So Hathaway is back into the count, 3-2. Trying to get Mejia here.
Said this at bat feels like the game right here. It's the turning point.
Hathaway is giving up 11 hits and trying to put away Jacob Mejia, who struck out 1 time in 42 plate appearances. I would bet against the strikeout here, Marshall.
What would I?
The 3-2. Hit hard to left, another hit. Mejia's 3 for 3, 1 run scores. Here comes the second, throw is offline. 2 are home, the ball gets away. 3-run score. It's a bases clearing knock for Jacob Mejia. Ball is also out of play, so Mejia will move up to third. Wow.
Wow.
So the LumberJacks open up a 7-0 lead. Truss scores, Bicknell scores, Miles scores. And Mejia is up to third on the play. 12 hits for the Jacks, 7 runs. Offensively, just a barrage. All singles, but 12 of them, Marshall.
Huge.
And that's going to be it, it looks like. Or no, just a glove change. Still activity up in the Green Dragons.
He came home. Like he came home and scored.
They sent home Miles. Mejia's going to be... Looks like Mejia's going to be put back on second base.
Oh, okay.
It's a 4-run third. And now they will make the change. So Hathaway is going to check out of the game. And he gave up 12 hits. The Jacks lead at 7-0. We'll introduce you to the new pitcher when we return. Nate Bandura going to come on and pitch for the Green Dragons. He's wearing a different jersey. Pitched for the Bombers this year and threw in yesterday's game. Was very good, an inning and a third. Did not give up a run in that 3-2 win over the Blue Sox. So he comes in and he'll pitch on back-to-back days here. The Jacks lead at 7-0 in the bottom of the third. Mejia leads off second, and Richie Amavisca, who struck out twice today, will get to see a different pitcher. Bandura comes home. Richie fouls it back 0-1. North Stars have opened up a 9-0 lead on the turf field, and all signs pointing to them punching their ticket to the championship game tonight. A Cinderella story, if you will, Marshall.
Really is.
0-1 outside, 1-1. Here's the snap throw. Nobody there. Goes into center field. Mejia's going to reach third. So he's back at third. And the throw in nearly gets away from Billy Howard. Things are unraveling a bit on the Green Dragons.
What? Oh.
There's another base hit to left, and Mejia comes home to score. It's 8-0. On an RBI knock from Richie Amavisca. In a big 5-run inning for the LumberJacks. And we are in potentially mercy rule territory. And that's a breaking ball up and away on Pontoli. 1-0. So Pontoli, now the mercy rule run. If it's 10-0 after 5, that's it. Here's the 1-0. Check swing. Did not go around. And that's potentially significant, Marshall. They got to play another game tonight. So if you can get out of here with just 5 innings on your pitchers, that'll perhaps save you an arm for the championship.
Yes, that's huge.
And here's a ground ball to second. Throw on to first is in time for out number 3. Finally, the inning is over, but the Jacks score 5. They lead at 8-0. We'll head to the 4th. You're listening to the PSCL semifinals. Owen Powers back to the mound, has yet to give up a hit, and now heads back with an 8-0 lead. The Jacks, with a 5-run third, have opened this game up, and we are final from the turf field. The North Stars defeat the Haymakers by a score of 10-0.
Wow.
So a mercy rule over there.
We can see the same here.
North Stars will head to the championship game. They'll play tonight at 7 o'clock against one of these two teams. Looks like it'll be the Jacks, but don't want to count out the Dragons just yet. Owens fouled back 0-1. So what a run for the North Stars. The 11 seed entering the tournament. Mejorado, Michelle, and Hall for the Green Dragons. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Mejorado grounded out to short. And that's in the dirt, 1-2. It's also in the dirt, 2-2. 13 hits for the Jacks, none for the Green Dragons.
Pitch.
2-2 outside, 3-2. Ball 4. So Powers loses him. That's the fourth walk. Excuse me, the fifth walk issued today. And drawn by the Green Dragons. The leadoff man's aboard for Michelle.
Mejorado, that's just his fourth walk on the season. Dragons has been able to get runners on base by the walk, but not a single hit yet. And not a single run either.
So Mejorado leads off first. And that's hit toward left on a line. Hangs up for a while. And caught out there for out number 1 by Truss. So Michelle's down on one pitch, and there's one out here in the top of the fourth with Mejorado at first. In the championship tonight at 7 o'clock here at Palm Springs Stadium. North Stars will be the road team indefinitely. And whoever wins this game will host the championship game tonight. 1-0, down in the dirt, 2-0. On Hall, the catcher, who walked in his first plate appearance in the second. Two and 0 on Hall. Down in the dirt, 3-0. Count. Mejorado leads off first, and that is ball 4, the 6th walk for Powers. And 10 walks in his last 2 outings. And here's a mound visit from Sam DiMatteo.
Looks like someone's going to be heading out.
It looks like Billy Howard. Billy Howard heading out to start warming. 11 seed North Stars. Unlikely run to the PSCL championship game. And either way, it'll be a tough one for them tonight. This Jacks lineup is extremely hard to handle. They have 13 hits today. And we are in the top of the 4th inning.
Oh, look at word. It's actually Justin Ortega who's getting loose in the pen.
Different 16 in green. You're right, Marsh. Here's the shortstop, Schiffner. With 2 on now and 1 out. First pitch, fouled off the plate. 0-1 for Schiffner. On 1 out. Jacks lead at 8-0 here in the top of the 4th. Yo, 1. Outside, 1-1. So important for the Dragons to get some runs on the board here in the 4th inning to extend this game.
And avoid a potential mercy rule, even. We are close to that.
1-1. In there for a strike, 1-2. One and two, 1 out, top of the 4th. Runners at first and second for the Green Dragons. Pitch hit to right field and caught by Jacob Mejia for the 2nd out. So Mejia puts leather on it. And there's 2 down. Lineup will flip over now for Howard. Tommy Howard is 0 for 2. Reached on error, struck out. I believe Killian running for the catcher hauled at first base. Swing and a miss from Tommy. It's 0-1. Check on the runner. Nothing doing. One hit back up the middle. Amaviska grabs it and throws high to first. Here's a throwback to third, and Arano's in safely. So Amaviska with a high throw, and that'll load the bases now. Error is going to be charged to Richie on the throw, and now loaded bases for Pruitt. It's the 2nd error of the game for the LumberJacks. So 2 walks and an error. Bags are loaded with 2 down. First pitch on Pruitt outside, 1-0. The 1-0 in there. Fastball painted, 1-1. So Pruitt, 2 walks today against Powers who's walked 6 in this game, but has given up no hits. That's outside, 2-1. So 2-1, 2 outs. Bags are loaded. That's inside, 3-1. So 3-1 on Pruitt with 2 down. And that's fouled off late on a fastball, 3-2. So runners will take off here, 3-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. Base hit likely to score 2, maybe even 3. If it's hitting the gap somewhere. Pruitt has already walked twice. Three, 2 from Powers. And that's fouled off again.
Dragons able to work the count. Draw so many walks, it just have yet to cash in. Again, there is no time limit, but they are on the cusp of the mercy rule. It's 10 before 5, that would be the end of the game.
3-2. Powers to Pruitt. Bases loaded. And that's fouled back toward us. Ooh. Right over the PA booth. So count remains 3-2.
Still waiting on that first ball to come here into the announcer's booth.
Hopefully get one more before the end of the season. Another 3-2. Powers to Pruitt. The top of the 4th. Jacks lead at 8-0. The bases are loaded. And that's down and away. Ball 4. So Mejorado comes in to score on the walk, and it's the 7th walk issued by Owen Powers today.
Finally, the Dragons on the board.
7 walks, and yes, the Dragons are on the board with 1 run. It's 8-1 Jacks. That pitch is up high, 1-0 on Bonin, who walked in his last plate appearance and was cut down on a fielder's choice. Popped up on the infield. Playable in short right. Making the catch is Trudeau, and that's out number 3. But the Dragons get a run. It's 8-1. We're into the bottom of the 4th. You're listening to the PSCL semifinals. Schwalbach, Little, and Truss here in the home half of the fourth. The Jacks lead at 8-1. Green Dragons got a run back in the top of the fourth. No hitter going for Owen Powers. He's walked 7, giving up just the 1 run on a bases loaded walk. First pitch to Schwalbach is inside, 1-0 from Nate Bandura. 1-0, hit hard but fouled on the first baseline. So 1-1. Schwalbach leading off the bottom of the fourth. Schwalbach 2 hits today, a stolen base. He's scored twice, another big day, and that one's hit high into left field. Going back on it, Bonine, and he makes the catch near the track. God, everything Schwalbach hits is hard, and that's out number 1. Went to the opposite field. Bonine makes a nice running catch. 1 down now for Little. Joey Little's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, fly out to left. That's fouled off. 0-1 for Little. And 1 out. In the semifinals championship tonight, the North Stars play the winner of this one. The Jacks are leading at 8-1. If the score holds, it'll be Jacks North Stars tonight at 7 o'clock. Swing and a miss, 0-2 from Bandura. We mentioned pitch for the Bombers this year. And for the club in yellow, Bandura, one of their best pitchers, 7 2/3, 3.52 ERA. That's fouled up the third baseline. Count remains 0-2. Bandura, 7 2/3, 8 strikeouts, 5 walks, 3 earned runs. He's faced 36 batters. 0-2 breaking ball. High, 1-2. North Stars with a decisive 10-0 victory over the Haymakers. Bandura from the stretch, 1-2, hit toward right, and caught on a line, sliding catch. Nice job from Pruitt for out number 2.
Beautiful catch there.
And this was the first inning the Jacks have not gotten their leadoff man aboard. Schwalbach flew out to deep left. Little's down on a line out to right, and here's Truss with 2 down. First pitch from Bandura, breaking ball hit towards center, hangs up there, and making the running catch is Howard. 3 flyouts, a 1-2-3 for Bandura, the first 1-2-3 inning for the Green Dragons pitching staff. And we'll see if Owen Powers gets the opportunity to defend his no-hitter as we head into the 5th inning. LumberJacks lead it 8-1. You're listening to the PSCL semifinals. Billy Howard to lead off the top of the 5th for the Green Dragons. And Howard today is 0 for 2 with a fly out to center and a fielder's choice. Takes strike 1 from Owen Powers, who has yet to give up a hit in this game. We're into the 5th. He's walked 7. And that's hit high to right field, but foul. It's 0-2. Jacks lead at 8-1. Winner will go on to face the North Stars tonight. The 0-2. Nubbed out to second. Underhand toss for out number 1. As Trudeau makes the play. And there's one down now for Montoya. So Howard grounds out, and now Montoya steps in. He's 0 for 2. Force out at third, strikeout, and that's outside from Powers, 1-0. Down in the dirt, 2-0. That's popped foul and out of play, 2-1. We're into the 5th inning here. And 13 hits for the Jacks, none for the Dragons, and it looks like Montoya might have hurt himself on that swing. And the trainer comes out to check on Gabriel Montoya. We'll step aside for just a moment. AJ Orozco will come out and hit in place of Montoya. We hope Gabriel is okay. leaves the game on that last pitch. And Orozco is 6 for 26 on the season, 5 singles, a home run, 5 driven in, been hit by 3 pitches, walked 5 times. And he comes up here with 1 out, nobody aboard, and steps in, takes 1 pitch, but it's 2 strikes, and the count is 2-2. 2-2, 1 out, nobody on. Top of the 5th inning, Jacks lead at 8-1 on 13 hits. As Owen Powers works on a no-hitter. That's hit toward right, and that will break it up. First hit of the game for the Dragons is a substitution single from Orozco. And that'll do it for the 0 in the hit category. Dragons are on the board.
Strange, with all those walks, Powers have been working on a no-hitter up until this point. Probably the strangest no-hitter I had ever seen. Or no-hit bit, I should say.
That'll bring up Mejorado. The designated hitter is 0 for 1 with a walk, scored in the 4th. And fouls that back fastball upstairs, 0-1. Oh and 1 out. Sebastian Mejorado. That's up and in, 1-1. The 1-1, hit back toward the middle, chance at 2. Powers takes it himself, throws on to second for 1. The throw to first, they got him. It's a double play started by the pitcher, Owen Powers, and the 1 hit the Green Dragons have put on the board today is spelled out at second base. It's another 0 on the board. The Jacks lead at 8-1, and they'll come up and hit. You're listening to the PSCL semifinals. Bottom of the fifth, Jacks lead at 8-1, and Drake Bignell will lead things off against Nate Bandura. The North Stars won over at the turf field, and they will play in the championship game tonight. And barring a Green Dragons comeback, it will be the Jacks in that game. That's hit high to right field and caught by Pruitt for out number 1. So this game is sped up a little bit here. Some quick outs. And one down now for Blake Miles. So Miles steps in for the third time. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of hits. Jacks have 13 hits today, Marshall.
As you would expect from them.
Scores the bunt, pulls it back, 0-1. And they will be a handful if it is them tonight against the North Stars. Oh, 1 on Miles. Foul back, 0-2. Oh, and 2, 1 out. Miles takes a breaking ball high. 1-2, good take. One and two, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Outside, 2-2. So count is even up now. And it hasn't been just the top of the lineup here for the Jacks. They're getting hits all the way through. Truss has 2 hits. Miles has 2 hits. Bignell has a big run-scoring hit. They can beat you 1 through 9. That's hit hard to left. Another knock. 3 for 3 day for Blake Miles. 14 hits for the LumberJacks. All singles. Pretty incredible.
Chipping away bit by bit. Again, if they reach 10 runs, the mercy rule would be invoked.
In steps Trudeau, who's 0 for 2. Now with a runner aboard in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jacks need 3 for the mercy rule, and scoring to bunt gets it down, but it's foul. So 1-1. One and one, 1 out. Scoring again, and he gets it down in the air. Caught on in the fly for 1. Throw on to first. It's a double play. So that'll do it for the 5th inning. Jacks still lead it 8-1. A bunt in the air turns into a double play. We'll head to the 6th. Jacks lead 8-1 over the Green Dragons. Winner will play in the championship tonight. You're listening to the PSCL semifinals. We are into the 6th inning, and Owen Powers is still on the mound for the LumberJacks. He'll pitch to Michelle Halden Schiffner. The batter's due up here in the top of the 6th. Jacks lead it 8-1. 6 outs remaining for the Green Dragons today, Marsh.
Wow. So we're past the mercy rule limit. The Dragons gotta get something going here. They got a long deficit to overcome.
Swing and a miss from Michelle is 0 for 2 today. Grounded out to first and flew out to left. 1 hit for the Dragons off Powers. He had a no-hitter going for a while, then gave up a knock to A.J. Orozco, who checked into the game for Montoya, left with injury. 0-1 on Michelle. In there, strike 2. "14 hits for the LumberJacks," and that's hit back toward the mound, up the middle. Tough play, and the throw is offline. Trudeau, tough play to his right, and tried to make the throw but couldn't keep it on line. Michelle will reach with a hit. So second hit of the day for the Green Dragons on a chopper up the middle in a good spot.
Yeah, that was very well hit.
And that brings up the catcher, Hald. A 1-6-3 double play snuffed out the 5th for the Green Dragons. That's up and away, ball 1. So we have a new catcher behind the plate for the LumberJacks. Drake Bicknell, who took an absolute crushing back there on a bunch of foul balls, is checked out. And that's a called strike. That is Lane George behind the plate. 1-1. Breaking ball. Just misses. 2-1. And strike 2 called on Hald. So he's been aboard twice on 2 walks, and he's had a courtesy runner come in for him as the catcher. Here's the 2-2 down in the dirt. 3-2. Good stop, George. It's an incredible tournament so far. The 1 seed goes down to the 13 seed Haymakers, who then fall 10-0 to the 11 seed North Stars. 3-2 is high, ball 4. So the 8th walk of the game for Powers. Puts runners at first and second here with nobody out, and Sam DiMatteo is coming to the mound. Looks like we'll have a pitching change. And it looks like Stetzer will come in, and that'll do it for Owen Powers. So he's responsible for the 2 runners on base so far. Just 1 run given up all game. Jacks lead at 8-1 as Stetzer checks in, and we'll step aside. New pitcher to the mound for the Jacks, Marshall.
Yes, we've got ourselves number 26, Derek Stetzer, freshman. Tall righty, comes in today with a 2.45 average on the season. Got 10 strikeouts against 9 walks, 7.1 innings pitched, and 1 win to his credit.
Gets a swing and a miss from Schiffner, who's 0 for 2 today. First and second, nobody out for the Dragons, trailing 8-1 here in the 6th. Winner will play tonight in the PSCL Championship right here at Palm Springs Stadium at 7 o'clock. Love to see you there. If not, we'll be live on the YouTube stream. PSCL YouTube. 0-1 in there, strike 2 from Stetzer. 2 hits so far for the Green Dragons compared to 14 for the Jacks. And that's been the difference so far.
Huge.
Although the Dragons have drawn 8 walks and not been able to scratch across more than just the 1 run. It was a bases loaded walk that scored the 1 run of the game. 0-2, foul back. Tavin Hathaway started this game for the Dragons, coming over from the Blue Sox, who they defeated yesterday. Here's the 0-2 on Schiffner. Down in the dirt, 1-2.
Stetzer's only allowed 3 hits this year. 3 runs, too.
Time called at the plate. Count remains 1-2. Here in the top of the 6th. First and second, nobody out. Here's the 1-2. Hit back toward the middle, chance at 2. Go for the second for 1, no throw to first. It's a fielder's choice. Schiffner will reach. Killian's out at second. And Michelle moves up to third. There's 1 down. Now lineup flips over for Tommy Howard. Tommy today 0 for 3. He's reached on 2 errors and struck out. Comes up with runners at the corners and 1 down. Outs are becoming scarce for the Green Dragons, Marshall.
They are. They're running out of time.
Play 7 today. It's the top of the 6th. Jacks lead at 8-1.
They've only got 5 outs left.
And that is down 1-0. Howard, Pruitt, Bonine at the top of this order. They've reached quite a few times. A couple of errors, 4 walks, but none of them have scored. Pruitt did drive in a run on his walk in the 4th, and that's pop foul, 2-1. Looked like the Jacks may have an opportunity to mercy rule here early on, but the Dragons wiggled out of some trouble. They've been able to extend this ball game, still trailing by 7 runs here. Need to start putting some hits on the board quickly.
They do. 2 hits so far, being no hit for the better part of the game.
Here's the 2-1. Runner goes. That's down, and Schiffner will have a stolen base. So second and third now takes away the double play chance for the LumberJacks, but no throw down. That run doesn't really matter a whole lot. Just trying to get outs, focus on the hitter. Here's the 3-1, outside.
Two and one. Outfield playing pretty shallow.
Swing and a miss from Howard. And now 2 strikes on him. So 5 outs left for the Green Dragons. First base is open. Stetzer steps back, takes a look at the runner. Stetzer comes home, outside, and that is ball 4. So Howard takes a walk, and that loads up the bases with 1 out for Pruitt. And Pruitt has walked 3 times today. And it looks like he's walking back to the dugout. I don't know what's going on here. Is there going to be a pinch hitter?
There just might be.
Looks like there will be a pinch hitter for Pruitt. Pruitt's walked 3 times, so interesting move here. Green Dragon's going to go to their bench. And looks like A.J. Killian's going to step in. He's 11 for 37 on the year, hitting .297, 435 on base, slugging .405, and 840 OPS on the year. 10 strikeouts, 7 walks. So Ryan Pruitt checks out, and he's had a tremendous season for the Dragons. First pitch on Killian is high.
That's Ryan Pruitt, the freshman from Bethesda University. 333.
So Killian checking in for Pruitt. And the 1-0's down in the dirt, 2-0. AJ, 2 doubles and a triple on the year, and the Dragons could use a double right now.
A.J. Killian, freshman out of Olympic College. Stellar .297 average coming into today. 5 runs batted in.
Here's the 2-0 in there, called strike 1. So 2-1 now. Two and one out, bases loaded. Jacks lead at 8-1 here in the top of the 6th. Green Dragons trying to cut into it, fouled away, 2-2. Dragons have 5 outs left. They got 3 runners on. Still got to get down the line to put the tying run in the hole even. But it starts with 1. Whole left field line is wide open for Killian. Here's the 2-2. Up and away, 3-2, good take. Borderline pitch, but it was out of the zone, and the count is full.
With the count full, worth noting, only has 7 walks on the year.
Here's the 3-2. Up and in, ball 4. So a run will come home and score. Michelle is in. And it's 8-2. So this could get interesting here, Marshall.
It could. We've seen a lot of
Billy Howard heads out to right field as A.J. Killian checks in at first base. The Jacks lead it 8-2. Nash Walker alongside Marshall Garvey bringing you the PSCL semifinals. Winner will take on the North Stars tonight at Palm Springs Stadium at 7 o'clock. And it looks like, barring a comeback in the 7th inning, it will be the LumberJacks.
Will be the last of the big teams standing after a barrage of upsets. Took out the likes of the Blue Sox and the A's. I'm still reeling from the Blue Sox upset in particular. That was stunning.
Nate Bandura back to the mound. He's faced the minimum through 2 innings. And he'll see the top of the lineup here for the Jacks, starting with Jacob Mejia. Mejia, outstanding day. 3 hits. And a tough out all season long. The Jacks have 14 hits, 8 runs. They lead it 8-2. And we are into the bottom of the 6th. First pitch, called strike, 0-1. Bandura's been pretty good, Marshall, since checking into this game.
He really has.
A lot of flyouts. Got a double play to finish off the 5th. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball hit out to left. It's a 4-hit day for Jacob Mejia. Wow. Mejia at the top of this lineup has 4 hits, and he's aboard to lead off the bottom of the 6th. "15 hits now for the Jacks.
Living up to their moniker. Absolutely hammering the ball.
All singles.
Just such a curiosity.
Mejia leads off first. Here's Amavisca, who has a hit. All but 2 in this order have recorded a hit today. It's a 3-hit day for Miles, a 4-hit day for Mejia, multi-hit day for Truss, and Schwalbach and Pontoli. 1-0. Richie follows it back toward the booth. Close. But right over our head.
Still waiting on that first ball to land in the announcer's booth.
So 1-1. And that is down and away. 2-1 on Amavisca. Mejia has scored twice. Here's the 2-1. Outside, 3-1. So 3-1 now on Amavisca. And getting through the top of this lineup is just difficult, Marshall. Really tough.
It is.
Here's the 3-1. Inside, got him. Didn't matter. It's ball 4 anyway. So now first and second with nobody out for Harrison Pontoli. And that is the winning run on deck. With the mercy rule. And there'll be a meeting at the mound. We'll see if we get a pitching change here. Bandura had done a nice job and then gave up a hit to Mejia and walked on Amavisca. And they will take the ball from him, so we'll step aside and we'll have a new pitcher when we return. New pitcher, Marshall.
All right. That is Mr. Avery Hubbard. He's picked up from the Bombers, a sophomore out of Monterey Peninsula College. Has a 6.55 ERA coming into today. With 2 wins, a save, and an even 11 strikeouts and 11 walks.
He'll face Harrison Pontoli with runners at first and second after a leadoff single from Mejia and a walk on Richie Amavisca. First pitch, squaring to bunt, pulling back. Pontoli's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. And Avery Hubbard. He pitched for the Bombers this year. That's hit hard to left field, but foul. Hubbard for the Bombers, 11 innings, struck out 11.
Even number of walks. Must be key to string together good at bats here.
And that's down in the dirt, 2-1. Both runners will advance on the play. I believe that's a double steal.
It is.
So 2-1 now on Pontoli. And the winning run is on deck in Mason Schwalbach. Here's the 2-1. Hit high into center and twirling, and that's going to land. That ball will run for a while. It's the first extra base hit for the Jacks. It's a 2-run double from Harrison Pontoli, a 3-hit day, and the Jacks lead it 10-2.
16 hits, 10 runs. LumberJacks just absolutely demolishing the ball.
10-2. The Jacks lead it, and they look like they're going to be on their way to the championship game tonight against the North Stars right here at Palm Springs Stadium. As Schwalbach steps in against the lefty, and Mason is 2 for 3 with a hard hit out to left field. Nearly went Oppo for a homer. First pitch, high, 1-0. A single, a walk, a 2-run double from Harrison Pontoli. Gotten the Jacks into double digits. They lead it 10-2 here in the bottom of the 6th. We play 7 in the PSCL playoffs. That's in the dirt. 2-0. From Hubbard to Schwalbach. Check on the runner. We'll see if the hits continue tonight for the Jacks. They have 16. And that's in the dirt, 3-0. Green Dragons have drawn 10 walks offensively, but just 2 hits. And that's been the difference so far, Marsh.
It has.
Two errors apiece for both sides. Here's the 3-0 from Hubbard. And that's ball 4. So Schwalbach draws a walk. He's aboard. And that'll bring up Joey Little, who's 0 for 3 today. One of just 2 Jacks hitters without a hit. Him and Colton Trudeau yet to get into the hit category today. See if Little can do so right now against the lefty. Time is called, and I'm going to get another pitching change here, Marshall. Looks like we will, so we'll step aside and introduce you to the new pitcher when we return. Braden Turner is on to pitch with runners at first and second here. Nobody out in the bottom of the sixth. Two already home for the Jacks in a 10-2 ball game. And Joey Little to the plate. That is outside, 1-0. Braden Turner making his first appearance.
Yes,
as a Green Dragon.
Scooped up from the Blue Sox. He enters today with a 4.26 ERA. Sets in there for a strike.
Well, there is an advantage to who you beat, Marshall. If you beat a good pitching staff, you can take their arms. You saw that with the Haymakers, but it didn't pan out for them. They lost 10-0 today to the North Stars. That is down and away. Gets away. It's 2-1.
And honestly, I expected it to pan out, especially if you were able to pick up the likes of Bridger Holmes with the North Stars. It's on a really charmed run. As for Braden Turner, comes into today twice as many strikeouts as walks. 20 strikeouts, 10 walks.
Cinderella run for the North Stars has put them in the championship game tonight at 7 o'clock. Little hits that towards short. Infield pressed in, picked up, thrown on for out number one. Schiffner makes the play, 6-3. And I think the infield is in because the winning run is at second base, Marshall.
Yes.
So a base hit could win this game. As Hillman Truss steps in. He's got 2 hits today. He's 2 for 3. Schwalbach leads off third. Pontoli at second. After a double steal, put both runners in scoring position. First pitch down in the dirt on Truss. Good dig out of the dirt there from Hald. So 1-0 on Truss, the left fielder today for the Jacks, and that's in there for strike one. It's actually Hudson Volk pinch hitting for Truss. So Volk fouls it off, and it's 1-2. Got a couple of new hitters coming up. George had checked in for Bicknell, so he's on deck. Hudson Volk.
387 average. 8 runs batted in. He's only struck out 5 times this year.
Takes a ball outside. Looked like strike 3 there, but it's 2-2.
Doesn't walk much, just 3 walks.
Two, 1 out, 2 in scoring position. Left side of the infield is pressed in for the Green Dragons. They trail 10-2. Here's the 2-2. Nubbed out to third, and the pressed infield works twice in a row. 2 down. And that brings up Lane George. The catching substitution for Drake Bicknell today. Jacks lead at 10-2. Bottom of the 6th. Base hit could win the game with the mercy rule runner on second. Infield now back with 2 outs. And that's in there for strike 1. So a nice job by Braden Turner coming in, getting 2 quick outs. He's ahead on Lane George. In the 0-1. Chopped up the middle. Going to be a tough play. Second hop jumps into center field. 1 run scores. Here comes the second run. And will that be it? It looks like it is.
That's it.
LumberJacks win it 12-2. They advance to the championship tonight. They'll take on the North Stars. Nash Walker, Marshall Garvey, been a pleasure. Again, final here, LumberJacks 12 and the Green Dragons 2. LumberJacks North Stars, 7 o'clock tonight, Palm Springs Stadium. We'd love to see you there. If not, join us on the